November 2020 Comic Haul and Giveaway. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, comic book fan. Welcome to another episode of the weekly VM Campos Comic Book Club. It's time for the monthly comic haul and giveaway. These are the comics that I picked up at the end of the month, November 2020, that I want to share with you. There'll be a contest somewhere in the video. You've got to watch the video to find out how to enter, and you'll also find out what you will win as a reward. We'll get to that soon enough. Let's talk about the comics. First of all, I've been trying out two different comic shops. Well, my usual one, Comics and Stuff, and then a new one, Now or Never Comics. They've been around for a little while now, but I'm starting to see about getting a subscription with them. And so I got some books over here at Now or Never, and let's see what we've got. So we'll start with DC. This is the preview book for Future State. This is a cool wraparound cover, actually, which is going to be the future versions of various DC characters. We have Yara Flor as the new Wonder Woman. We've got the vintage characters plus new characters of the future. And this basically explains what the Future State event is going to be about. A lot of cool art. And then, of course, all of the comics that are going to come out. These all come out in January 2021, a bunch of them. So this is the future plans of DC Comics. Next up, I got Spawn number 312. This is the local comic shop day edition. This is an homage to Spiderman, I think number 700? One of those, number 800, where it was the skyline of New York with Spider-Man swinging and then the names of everyone that's ever worked on a Spider-Man comic. Here, instead, we have all of these comic shops that carry Image Comics and such. And if you look carefully, actually, there is Now or Never Comics right here in San Diego. So I haven't looked at every single name over here. Like I said, the one I usually visit is Comics and Stuff, but I haven't, it's not alphabetical or anything. Not sure if CNS has a listing here, but lots of comic shops and that relatively newcomer Now or Never Comics right there. So this Spawn series has been record-breaking. They're at 312 issues. Great art as usual, cool story and characters. Gunslinger Spawn is a big name at the moment. So pretty epic story continuing. I picked up Spy Island number 2 and number 3. I picked up number 1 a couple months ago. This is over at Dark Horse. I really liked issue number 1, so I let him know, if you have issues 2 and 3, please save them for me, so I can't wait to read these. I love these covers. This is a Bermuda Triangle mystery. It's a fun, funny, interesting, well-drawn series about detectives in the Bermuda Triangle with beautiful art. Like, I just love the art throughout, everywhere. Really cool style to it all. So it's basically spies in a supernatural setting with these amazing sorts of covers. Look at that. Looks like a vintage sort of 80s or vaporwave style of cover on that. No spoilers. So yeah, Spy Island number 2 and 3 from Dark Horse. I'm going to be reading Sonic the Hedgehog on the reg, mostly because I love the art. I love this cute cartoony art. This is the style that I want to draw in, and maybe if I, like, on a regular basis am exposed to this art, one day I'll be able to draw as amazingly as this. So there's Rouge and Knuckles and everyone. Very colorful, very action-packed, very cute. So compared to the other comics I showed over here, this is, you know, completely sort of a different style. But here's Sonic the Hedgehog number 34, the current IDW series. They went over to like 280 issues or something over at Archie, and they were there for like 25 years. So now they've been at IDW, I guess, for about 3 or so. Another series that's kind of long-running that I'm going to get into is the current Tmnt at IDW. This is issue 111. I picked up, I think, like issue 99 and 100 just because they were going to turn over to the new triple digits. Congrats to them on that. And they've also introduced some new characters, the return of some. We've got Jenica, we've got Venus. There's also a lot of storylines and plots happening. So Cool art on this too. I really see that this series is really becoming like a big furry series at the moment. Lots of mutated characters, cool art. There's the future turtle. No spoilers. So I'm checking this out. I believe this is it's a Kevin Eastman art, classic artist, and it is variant number 2 actually. I've got the other issues to catch up on to really start to enjoy the new series ongoing from here. This is from IDW. And this one's fun. It's the TMNT Best of Donatello. So they're doing all of the turtles in like a huge, I didn't see how many pages this is, but it's a huge, thick book with a glossy, thick cover. This is Donatello. To be honest, Leonardo's my favorite, but this was kind of cool because it's got 3 stories from the Mirage age in the 80s, and then the IDW age in the 2000s, and then one of the most recent IDWs as well. So it's kind of cool to see the old art recolorized. So all of this vintage art, which was originally black and white, very stark black and white. Yes, that is Jack Kirby, revealed by the end. Spoiler alert for like a 30-year-old story. They should have said what years these came out in, but it's got 3 stories from the various ages of TMNT, currently at IDW. I was looking forward to this one. This is at, so what's the official name of this company actually? Is it AWA? Is it Upshot? So it's American Writers and Artists, something like that. I forget what it stands for. But then we've also got the subtitle of Upshot. So it's a new comic publisher that came out in the last year or so. And this is Year 0, Volume 2, Issue 1. Basically, it's if you're missing The Walking Dead, here is one of actually several zombie comics that are being published in recent times. But this one takes place globally. This one is a story about what about the zombie apocalypse happening all over the world. So this is Volume 2. I enjoyed the first issue. It was a little bit underground. The first volume, I mean. And now here's Volume 2, this epic cover right here, which looks a little bit too much like World War Z cover, but this is the Carrie Andrews, I believe. And so we've got various stories. It's very violent. It's very sexy. And it's all about zombies and different characters in 4 different parts of the world, not just in one localized place like is common with many zombie tales. Origins, number 1 of 6 from Boom. This is a series that's getting pretty hot. Independent, indie sort of thing. It's a futuristic tale of post-apocalyptic stuff. I always love to see something like this that really shocks you. The Statue of Liberty, all mossy and overgrown in a futuristic forest sort of setting. So this reminds me a little bit of We Live, but without the multimedia aspect of it. And really interesting sort of plot, very cool colors, and all of that is issue number 1. And lastly, what I got from Now or Never Comics is they threw in the latest issue of Previews, number 387. This is a huge book that basically gives you previews of all of the comics that are coming in February 2021. So there's a brand new Blade Runner series coming. It's an Origin. So we've got Peach Momoko cover on that, plus Art Germ. And I haven't really looked through a previews book in a long time. I just go to their website, but it was thrown in for free, so I thought that was cool. And gives you previews of the stories, what's coming soon, what is good on the various publishers. I don't know. Do y'all want me to do like a deep dive in this? Deep dive on this book. That might be kind of interesting just to see what's in one of these. And it's also a flip book because then on the back it's got the sort of like toys and collectible aspect of things. Wow, look at that. So yeah, toys on the back. Plus, it also came with the like Marvel preview. The whole Absolute Darkness plot is coming soon with Stegman and Cates. And I haven't seen through this. Oh no, Mary Jane, she's Carter's eyes. No. And yeah, it's all Marvel all the time. Preview book. Some speculators feel some of this is valuable in terms of if there are character previews. After people get like first appearances and other things, we have previews, and some people think that's a bit of value. So yeah, that's what I got here. That was the item from Now or Never Comics. Shout out to them. Moving over to my usual comic shop, which is comics and stuff. Here we have, hey, what's this? It's Amazing Spider-Man number 49. On last month's haul, I had said that I had asked for this Bruce Timm variant cover, and they didn't have it when I picked it up. So lo and behold, they saw my sad puppy dog eyes, and when I showed up to get my haul this month, they said, oh, actually, we did manage to get you one. If you look at the details here and there, it does have a little bit of imperfections, unfortunately, but don't worry about that. Pay attention to Bruce Timm's amazing art, Mary Jane, shiny outfit with a micro mini skirt in the 60s. Gwen Stacy is not amused, Peter Parker is, and so is Normie. So it's issue 49, Legacy 850 issues of Spider-Man. So yep, finally got my copy of that. Speaking of which, let's pause for the cause. Here is the time for the giveaway. And this is the issue that I mentioned last month. This is the one that was in my pull box instead of the other one that I really wanted. So here's the giveaway. Do you want this mint condition edition of the regular issue of Amazing Spider-Man number 850? This is the Ryan Ottley cover. It is actually got also the Chadwick Boseman tribute on the back. Perfect bound and everything. So I'm giving this one away as part of this month's giveaway. How do you enter? All you have to do is go to my YouTube community page. And I'm happy to announce that I finally got youtube.com/vmcampos. For a long time, I had to tell people to go to youtube.com/vmcamposjr because someone had VM Campos, but they never used their account. There's someone in Brazil that just like had their account extinct, but they never used it. I was not able to claim that name, even though I'm VM Campos all over the world, on my Twitter, on my Patreon, on my website, vmcampos.com, etc., except on YouTube. So now that I'm a big wig with 1,069 subscribers, I contacted YouTube and I asked them, hey, can it be possible that maybe please Senpai notice me and give me the name that I always wanted? They replied a couple of days later and said, yeah, we can do that. We can make that happen. No problem. Click here. So I did. And now I've got youtube.com/vmcampos. So I'm so happy about that. And to help me celebrate, I'm giving away some comics. So head on over to my YouTube, youtube.com/vmcampos. And you're going to go to the community tab. That's the spot where we can chat with each other. Go to the community tab and there is a prompt right there. Answer the prompt and the 11th person to answer will get the prize, which is Amazing Spider-Man 850. Now you can enter more than once, but you cannot enter subsequently. One person can answer the prompt, and then you can answer it, and then another person answers, and then you can answer that one. But then you cannot answer yourself. It has to be every other. So you can do multiple entries until we get to the 11th entry, but you cannot follow your own reply. If you don't want this Amazing Spider-Man issue, perhaps instead you want Conspiracy Black Knight Satellite number 1, or how about The Shape of Elvira number 1, or how about Tank Girl Action Alley number 1, or how about Avengers True Believers Rocket Raccoon number 1, reprint, facsimile sort of thing, or maybe Dungeons & Dragons A Darkened Wish number 1, or Ravage 2099 number 1, or Sacred 6 number 1, J. Lee cover, or maybe Voyage to the Stars number 1, or maybe Rogue Planet number 1, or maybe Ludocrats number 1. So you get to decide. 11th entry wins. You get to decide which of these you want. Go back to the video and pause it to see which one you want to pick. But if you're the 11th person, you get to pick one of these and I will send it to you in appreciation for watching my videos, for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, all that good stuff. So again, head on over to YouTube, youtube.com/vmcampos. No more JR. Go to the community tab and the prompt is there. Answer it before the next comic haul, which is at the end of next month, December 2020, to enter to win. Remember, you can reply more than once, but not a subsequent reply. My contest, my rules. All right, back to the show. So I got Amazing Spider-Man number 50, Last Remains. There's a pretty epic sort of cover right here. More Chadwick Boseman back covers over here. Pretty beautiful. Rest in peace. Now, I also got the next ones, kind of. So I didn't get 51, I got 52, and I also got 53. So what happened to 51? How will I know what is going on in this plot line? So perhaps that's one of the reasons why I'm looking at other comic shops. I'm like that meme about the guy looking at the other girl, even though he's already got a girl. But, when they do you wrong, what are you going to do? So I got Symbiote, Spider-Man, King in Black #1, regular cover, pretty epic stuff. What's going on with Null? Is it Null or Newell? How do you like to say it? I heard someone say Newell for the first time, which sounds kind of cool, but I always thought it was simply Null. And God forbid if you call it Null. But anyway, here we have Spider-Man, Symbiote, Spider-Man, King in Black. Detective Comics number 1027, 144-page mega spectacular. This is celebrating 1,000 issues, or 1,000 appearances of Batman in Detective Comics, who of course debuted back in 1939 in Detective Comics number 27. And here we have 1027, the epic 1,000 issue anniversary of The Dark Knight. So what cover is this? It was the last one on the shelf. It's regular cover #1. I'm not sure what I think about this back side of the cover. Why does Robin look approvingly at the death of Batman's parents, and Alfred is kind of just chilling with, "Sir, would you like your coffee?" or tea or whatever. But this epic cover here is pretty epic. Although I guess now that I look at it also, why is that bat kind of right here? Batman versus a bat? I think I'm thinking too hard. Here's a blast from the past. Darkness, The Darkness, issue #1, 25th anniversary commemorative edition. So if you're watching my videos about new comics coming soon and so forth, I definitely mentioned this book, and I finally got my copy of it. It's got this like modern, updated design. You can get the full art over at previewsworld.com, very detailed art. I love the contrast between the cool colors and the warm colors of the cover right here. So, commemorative edition. It's Mark Silvestri's brainchild from back in the 90s, with I guess also Garth Ennis' work. How about a new issue of Invincible #1? This is actually the local comic shop day edition with this beautiful, tasteful foil on the cover. So there's been a resurgence of gimmick covers in the past several years, and I've been listening to Rob Liefeld's podcast, reminiscing about comics in the old days, and just made me remember about all of those great gimmick covers in the 90s. So here's a new issue #1. This is the 10-year anniversary of Skybound. There was also like a 5-year anniversary one 5 years ago, and now here's a new #1. So if you never got first printing of Invincible #1, here's a new printing of it. I think there's been plenty of others. I also have the Larry's comic book edition version of that, limited to 1,000, that I got a few years ago on eBay. So that one is your closest chance to get the original Invincible before it gets out of your price range. And here is the new local comic shop version. So, yep, if you ask your shop nicely, they might have one. A little bit less restrained, but still really cool. Oh, I'm blinding myself. Is Monstrous, one of 2 talk stories. So this is to tide you over until the regular series return. This is Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda's comic and local comic shop day edition. It's so cool. I love how it's so chromy, so foily, whatever the official name of this process is. So it's 00111. And yeah, I can't wait to read this self-contained sort of issue. Just don't look at it too long. It's like staring into the sun. I'm reading the ongoing Usagi Yojimbo story from IDW. This is the return #1 of 4. I liked #1 and 2. #3 I thought was spinning its wheels a little too much. I also didn't like Usagi's characterization in issue 2, I believe. And here's issue #4 to see how it all wraps up. So, no spoiler alerts, but Usagi returns to his old village. Shenanigans happen. Lots of people get killed. No blood, of course. But, hey, what's that? That's Back to the Future meets Transformers. Amazing. Great Scott, time travel and Autobots. Oh, IDW. Anyway, I'm reading this Usagi series on the reg, and I've finally gotten used to that it's all in color, because I was used to classic Usagi stories that were all in black and white. Speaking of which, we've got Usagi Yojimbo Wanderer's Road, which reprints classic Usagi stories in color. But the main reason that I got this, yeah, it's a number one, but the main reason is, of course, Peach Momoko cover. Peach Momoko is like the number one artist of 2020. Everyone loves her work. I know I love it. I pick it up every time I see it. And here I was able to get my own copy of Wanderer's Road. Look at Usagi, looks so cool. Momoko's art is so amazing. Such an evocative cover. I need to put this on my wall next to my Rembrandt. I got Tmnt Annual number 20. So this is cover B. This is an Eastman cover. Yeah, that should be Eastman. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. I didn't even notice that yet. So Kevin Eastman cover. And we've got some epic stuff going on. So I like these annuals because they often have like little short stories as anthologies. I really think comics should do more anthology series. More bang for your buck. Comics now, you know, their prices. Back in my day, they were 75 cents when I first started, and then I was shocked when they became $1. And then now the average is $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. Those Marvel books over there and DC books are no problem hitting $9.99. Here's a $5.99 annual. But you get more bang for your buck because multiple stories, and I wish that there would be more anthology series. We've got the Continuing Adventures of Vengeance of Vampirella. I've been reading this one. This is a Lucio Perillo cover. I forgot to ask for the cosplay cover, but you have to order it in advance. But anyway, Perillo does great art here, and the battle between Vampirella and Mistress Nyx for the fate of the world still rages on. So, is that a color break on my brand new comic? So yeah, amazing art and pretty epic story. Brand new Rick and Morty. I thought Oni Press was losing the license, especially with the final issue 60 of the regular Rick and Morty series. Anyway, here we have Rick and Morty Ever After. I got issue number 1, and then also number 2 is out. Not quite sure exactly what the whole storyline of this one is after the recent Dungeons & Dragons and Dungeons & Dragons 2 Painscape stories. Here's another ongoing series. Oh yeah, and then we also had Rick and Morty Go to Hell. So now we have here Ever After. So I guess it's fairy tale stories. I got these. I got the variant cover right here. I like the style of that one. And this one is regular number 2. So we got 2 Rick and Morty comics, Ever After, from Oni Press. And lastly, an independent book over here from Vault. We have I Walk with Monsters, number 1. This is Cornell, Cantrino Kelly, and World. So this is the variant cover, the I Voted variant cover. Let's see, what's this one about again? So many comics to enjoy. In JC's past is the important man who took away her brother. Now JC has David, who sometimes transforms into a terrifying beast. Together, they found a way to live and to hunt, sniffing out men who prey on vulnerable. But JC and David are about to run into the important man again. A haunting story about the monsters that walk beside us all and sometimes lurk within. So, sounds like an interesting plot. I'm always checking out issue number 1s of series, and I like to check out these indie books from some of the smaller companies. This is from Vault. So that was this month's comic haul. What do you like? What are you reading? What should I be reading? Tell me all about it in the comments. Don't forget to go do the scavenger hunt sort of challenge to enter to win in this month's giveaway. Remember, do as the contest says to be entered before the next haul next month. Good luck with that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, battle the Minotaur. Keep up to date with everything that I do on YouTube, on Patreon, all the good stuff. VM Campos all over the place. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you in the next comic haul.